That's the view that I see every day. Welcome to my shop. So with the new year in full effect, I thought it would be fun to just obviously do a shop tour. That's kind of seems like the thing that most makers are doing. But I also wanted to take the time to talk to you guys about why my shop is laid out the way it's laid out, the things I want to change, and the things that I want to accomplish. Now, I know my shop looks super clean. It's super nice, but it's not always that way. Let me show you real quick what my shop usually looks like. This is what my shop actually looks like most of the time. It's dirty, it's dusty, there's always stuff on my bench, on the floor. It's just, I feel like a lot of times when people do shop tours, they aren't honest about how their shop actually is. I am not against having a clean shop. Trust me, I love having a clean shop. But on the daily, this is what my shop usually looks like. It's not pretty. It's not the perfect shop, but it is a shop and it does get used. And this is what it kind of looks like. Projects everywhere, things just everywhere. It's a shop. But I did want to show you guys the clean version of my shop just because that's the way that I like my shop. Clean, organized, and just ready for work. I don't have a perfect shop. I actually use my shop on the daily and it gets dirty and dusty. But enough about that, let's jump into showing you guys the goods. So this right here is obviously the heart of my shop. I have a rigid table saw. I think I got it for like 500 bucks or something like that about 5 years ago. This is a janky little, this is a janky work table that I built around the same time I got the saw, and it's got a nice white melamine top on it. A couple reasons for the melamine. Number one, it's harder for like glue and stuff to stick to it. But also number two, it's pretty dark in my shop and the lights bounce off of it and it gives a little bit more light to everything. Yes, this top really needs to get redone, but I don't want to redo it until I can actually redo my whole entire bench. And if you've ever built a workbench, you know that costs a lot of money, especially if I want to add like cabinets and stuff to it, which I do. And around it, I've got my scrap. These are my 2 scrap bins. Usually they're kind of organized with plywood and then just regular wood, but I've kind of fallen out of that. So burn pile. This is Odin's spot, my dog. He hangs out down here a lot. I also just keep random pieces of wood and stuff down here. Circling around, if you watched my last video, you will see that this is where I keep all of my stock for turning. We've got segmented blanks, burl blanks, just straight square blanks, anything I could just kind of grab and start turning. This is really nice to have. Again, I want to upgrade this whole system and put shelving in everywhere because I need more space. Moving on, we'll start in this corner and then we will move this way. This is sort of my laser station. This is basically, I wanted a desk here for my laser. So when I have my computer out here, I have a place I can work and do it. And it's at standing height for me. So that way I can just beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, you know. This is the laser that I use. This is an algo laser and it is a fantastic laser. It's 22 watt and it can cut and engrave most things. It's perfect for what I need. Would I like a bigger one? Yes, I would. I don't know that I ever will though, but a man can dream. This one up here was sent to me by Algo for a YouTube video. It's in the channel if you guys are interested in this. This is a smaller laser. I think it's a 5 watt and it can cut and it can definitely engrave. So if you're interested in lasers, go check out that video because I think it's pretty informative. I used to just have this here, and then I realized obviously I need more space, and this whole thing was a blank wall. So I built this multi-shelf unit thing with no real plan, more of just like I need to put stuff somewhere, and it's filling up rather quickly. I've got my finishes here, epoxy stuff here, Starbond stuff here, spray paint stuff all over here. It's just, it does need organization, but it also doesn't. I was thinking about putting doors on it originally, half and half, but I'm not really sure. Moving on, we have my goal whiteboard thing. This is just where I write down all my daily goals and my weekly goals, my top actions that I want to do, or just anything I need to do, such as like order lumber or order parts for jobs coming up and stuff like this and stuff like that. If you don't have a whiteboard or like a notepad or something in your shop to write down things and just put them out there so you can constantly see them, I highly, highly recommend it. Moving on. This bad boy was built a long time ago. This is, to start, I put a nice ash top on this whole thing, so it looks so good. And then I also used my CNC to engrave custom logos into the top of it. It looks awesome. I'm really happy that I did it. Going up, my cleat wall that still needs work. I still need to add a lot more cleats and obviously more stuff to it, but that comes in time. This is just plywood, and it's kind of supposed to go all the way up, but I'm not too interested in making it go all the way up because these are 11-foot ceilings and there's no way I'm gonna reach up there for anything. So if I do finish all the way up, it's just for aesthetics. But on this cleat wall is definitely my most reached for tools. I've got chisels, knives, squares, router bits, which I wanna move over to my CNC, but they're here. This handmade sign that my friend literally hand cut for me with an X-Acto knife on this thinner plywood, and then glued it to another piece of plywood to create this awesome sign. I love this sign. It's really, really special to me. Then just bits and stuff, pencils, that. This is a sandpaper station. I'm going to be changing this up. I like the idea of it, but I don't like the use of it. I think what I want is a drawer system near where my sander is so that I can just have access to everything there. Moving down, I obviously have a mini fridge here. It's so empty, so sad, but usually it's filled with Mountain Dew and Monsters. And then I am currently working on this shelving system. I think it's almost done. I think I'm gonna do one more drawer in here, move everything kind of around so there's 5 drawers on each side, and then I'm gonna do ash fronts on it as well. It's gonna look really good. When I first bought this shop, this was the vision that I had for it with this whole section here, and I'm really glad that I'm able to finally kind of finish that off. So the reason I use ash is because where I am in Idaho, it is super cheap, like $1 something a board foot. It is dirt cheap, so I use it in a lot of my wood shop projects. Moving on. This is this is a little bit of a mess. Hold on. Okay, well, usually my dog food goes right here because in the winter time, Odin is in here a lot, and I like to feed him in here and just make sure he's comfy inside because, well, like today, currently outside, it's like 10 degrees. Usually that's kind of tucked away behind the lathe. We have our lathe. Everything in my shop that is like a tool like this is meant to be pulled out into this big sort of section that you guys are sitting in. When I first got started with my business, I started doing custom furniture, and I did a lot of tables and desks, and I needed a nice open spot to prep everything and paint everything and do all the stuff. And so that was kind of the mindset that I am in, is to where I need to be able to put things away and then take them out when needed, but I needed the space. Anyways, we got our lathe, our light that I use when I'm turning and stuff, stuck under the dog food, that's great. Clamp rack, decent. I got this clamp rack off Amazon. Link will be down below. I would recommend it if you don't have a lot of clamps. I don't usually have a lot of clamps, so it does the job. Plus they were pretty cheap. So down here is kind of a junk pile just because I'm testing some stuff and stuff is going on. This corner's kind of turned into my fishing corner. I have just all my fishing poles here. I don't have a rack for them yet. I'm planning to do one on the CNC, but time constraints just hasn't happened yet. I love fishing. Hats. I have a decent amount of hats. One really cool thing that I did to display these hats was Harbor Freight actually sells these little magnet things. Let me show you. These little hooks, but they have magnets on the back of them, and they just stick right to my door. That's a really cool way to display them, I think, you know, and I can put as many as I want on this steel door, or not steel, metal door to my outside, so that's nice. Charging station also needs an upgrade. I would really like to upgrade this. A classic drill charging station where you can hang your drills and your charger and shelf on top for all of my gizmos and gadgets. Yes, I run Ryobi. Come at me. I've had these since I first started woodworking and they haven't broken yet, so I haven't had a need to buy new tools. This is my planer. It's on casters, so I can just roll it out when I need it. It's a great planer. This is the Porter Cable 12-inch. Yeah, 12-inch planer. Workhorse. It only does straight blades, so it's not the cleanest cuts, but when you need to plane something, this thing can do it. It's sitting on a little stand, and in here I just have knickknacks, things like that, kind of another little junk drawer. More junk. And vacuum accessories down there, but I really like this style of this system because you got drawer, shelf, drawer, and if you really wanted to, you could make the whole thing drawers or whatever, but it's kind of a classic cabinet design, and I'm into it. And next to the planer, I have my 10-inch bandsaw. This is from Grizzly. It's a great little bandsaw. I'm not like resawing anything huge or anything like that. I literally just use it to cut out parts that I cut on the CNC, and that's about it. I would recommend it. It's a nice, cheap benchtop bandsaw. It's not on casters or anything, but it's light enough that you can just pull it out and move it however you want. My wall of hammers, I've got some hammers on here that people have made for me, and then I've just got my basic hammers for hitting stuff. Anyways, moving on. This is my CNC. It is an Inventables X-Carve. I've had it for almost 2 years now. I got a really good deal from a friend and I had to pick it up because I was looking for a CNC for my business. I love this thing. This has been a workhorse for me. There are some reviews out there that bag on this CNC, and I will say that I'm ready for an upgrade. I think that I've learned what I can from this thing and it's done what it can for me, but I think that with a lot of people who get this CNC, they quickly move past it. Yes, it's a little flimsy. Yes, it needs constant maintenance and things like that, but if you are taking care of it, it will definitely take care of you. So the goal is to get a Onefinity 4x4 CNC, which is much larger than this. If I get a 4x4 CNC, it's going to take up a good portion of this back wall, and yeah, it'll be a lot, but it's going to allow me to carve a lot more, a lot faster, and a lot better. So that's the goal. We'll see if we can make it happen this year. I am really striving to make it happen this year. Apart from that, I want to add obviously shelving and stuff underneath it, because as much as this is a great thing, it takes up a lot of space and there's just a lot of open air down here, and in a small shop like mine, every square inch counts. If you have questions about this CNC, go ahead and send them to me. You can either send them to me on Instagram or down in the comments, and I will answer whatever I can with it about this CNC. Obviously, huge shout out to shop sponsors, Walrus Oil Base Camp, Starbond. I've also got a surf prep one that I need to throw up there. I just haven't yet. Moving on. Right next to my CNC is my drum sanding station. This is a little 10-inch drum sander from Grizzly as well. It's good. It gets the jobs done, but as I am building bigger and bigger things, I find that this is not wide enough for my general needs. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just ready for a bigger, wider drum sander. I also have my laptop on this for the CNC. I do want to build a stand for my laptop so I can use it closer to my CNC, but for now, that's where that is. And then same kind of cabinet build out as the planer. We've got drawers, a door, and more drawers with junk inside. Yes, this is the Harbor Freight vacuum. I've had this thing for 5 years and it still hasn't quit on me, so I would recommend it to people who are getting into wood turning or woodworking, wanting a nice, maybe not nice, a bigger dust collector. This thing has done great for me. Plus, there's a ton of videos on YouTube you can look up on how to mod this thing and make it way better than it already is. Behind the dust collector, if I can just move it real quick. Yeah. I have like straight stuff. These are just aluminum straight edges and a T-square and a level, Craig stuff. Stuff that I don't really use all that often, but I still want it in my shop and handy. Moving on. This is my wood turning wall. This is probably something you'll see a lot in all of my videos. It's where I put my wedgie sled, my wedgies, and my turning tools. I use carbide turning tools. I have not taken the time to practice using traditional tools, and I don't really see the need to because I can accomplish everything I need to with my carbide tools. That being said, I do want to try getting good with traditional tools because there are some traditional tools out there that just do the job a little bit better. But yeah, carbide right now works great. Highly recommend carbide. I'll put the link for this specific set down below as well if you're interested in that. If you're interested in wedgies or wedgie sled for segmented turning, there's also a link for that, and I would appreciate the business. This is another straight cut jig right here for longer boards up to 6 feet. And then of course, my lumber storage is here. It's chaotic. It really needs to be picked through. These are kind of like the Bora rack that you can find, but it's cheaper on Amazon and it doesn't really have a name, I don't think. I'll find it and leave a link for these down below. They're great. Highly recommend them. This section right here is also just made for lumber storage, mostly like plywood stuff. I have some broken pieces back here and stuff, but that's what this whole section is for, just plywood and things like that, sheet goods. So this sign here says Papa's Shop. It's really important to me. This was hanging up in my grandpa's wood shop before he passed, and I was able to collect it and bring it into my shop, which is awesome. My sad sanding station, I need a new vacuum. I use Surf Prep 6-inch orbital sander, and this thing is awesome. I highly recommend it to anybody who is looking to upgrade their sander. Yes, they can be pricey, but I promise you, it's worth it. This is a little wall-mounted hanger that I got from Petrie's workshop. He makes them for orbital sanders, and they allow you to store them just like that. I also have down here a spindle sander. I probably only use it around the holiday times when I'm making charcuterie boards and things like that, because they've got those weird corners and stuff. This thing comes in clutch when I do need it though. And this again is where I think I would want to put that drawer with all my sanding stuff in here next to my sander and stuff, so that way I can just pull it out, put it on, start sanding. I did used to have a router table here, but the router inside of it died, and so I got a new one, and I figured if I did a new router, I might as well use some melamine and put that in here. So that's what I'm gonna be doing here. It's not done, obviously, but it will get there. And then of course you have my garage. This is the garage door. I insulated it all with that foam insulation stuff you can get. I just bought 2 sheets, cut it to fit, slid them in, and it works like a charm. The only thing I wish I could do is insulate the sides and the top of my garage door, but it's fine. It's a lot warmer in here than it would be without these. And last but not least, this is Odin. Come out so people can see you. Come here. There you go. This is Odin, my shop dog. He is a good dog. Needs a little haircut around his eyes, but we like our hair long. He born and raised in this shop, so hey, well, go sit down. Go sit down. Yeah, so like I said, he lives under there, enjoys it, or he sleeps there. So, yeah. And that is my 2023 shop tour. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it puts into perspective a little bit more on my videos and stuff. I can honestly say I don't have big plans for the shop. I feel like I just have a few things I want to get done in here and then it might be done. If I get the new CNC, that'll be a big project. Obviously I want to finish up this work table next to me with the drawers and build a new workbench. So maybe that is big plans. I don't know. But more or less, I don't feel like I'm in a need to get these things done or spend a lot of money getting them done. Because everything I have right now, it really suits me. It suits for the work that I do. And honestly, right now, this year, I am trying to build money up in my business instead of building the business, if that makes sense. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If I missed something or you want to learn more about a certain tool or way I have something set up, I would love to talk to you guys in the comments. Also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. You can also follow me on Instagram if you want to see some more behind the scenes. I do a lot of storying on there. And yeah, that's my shop tour for 2024. So be good, be safe, be happy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.